Rory McIlroy just won the Masters. We are doing a video about his watch collection from start to finish, from young to old, or from young to today. I know for a fact that Rory is a crazy watch guy. I have seen him wearing from pictures from 20 years ago. No, not 20 years. This may be a wee bit of exaggeration, but I have seen him. He's 35. You know the funny bit is, Rory and I are so similar. We're both wearing golf attire, but both athletes, and we're both very talented. We're, well, members of the same club. Not that that is a big deal. Not Augusta, like, I mean, hell, Hollywood Golf Club, like, we're bros, like.
Did anyone on that?
You know what the funny story is, right? I've met Rory once, and he was kind enough to sign. I have a Rory McIlroy bag that I bought to support a charity. And he signed that bag when he was in the, well, this is years ago. That's the only time I've ever met him. I've seen him, however, in Dubai this year, when he was playing in Dubai. But I didn't think he...
You were behind the gate?
Yeah, I was a wee bit like... He didn't recognize me. It is what it is.
You just seem like a fanboy.
It is f***ed up, this, isn't it? He doesn't even follow me. It breaks my heart. Harry does, though. Oh, you don't know who that is.
I do. Is this caddy?
You know something about golf.
They met in Hollywood Golf Club on the green.
How do you know
I
that?
just saw a video earlier.
Jesus. Harry, big shout out to you, boy.
He's the diamond player.
You're so f***ed up, you. F*** up. But anyway, ironically, I swear on my life, I didn't do this on purpose. The first photo I see of a young Rory wearing a Navy timer, and guess what I'm wearing? A very old Navy timer. The reason why I'm wearing this is because it's on test. We repaired this watch. It's been in repair for like 6 months, and I think we finally got it. That is a coincidence, so it's cool to see him wearing a Breitling. The Breitling Navy timer is historically such an incredibly important watch. My earliest memories of watches is Breitling. When I was 12, 13, my uncle had money. My uncle's rich. My parents were poor, but he had Breitlings, like big yokes. He actually had an Aerospace with 2 displays, 2 digital displays. Unbelievable watch. But the history of the Navy timer dates back out of 1952, and it was like the go-to pilot watch. It was the daddy. Only cool man were wearing this watch. We don't talk about it as often as we actually should. Breitling in recent years hit a rough patch until the Chinese bought Breitling. CVC Capital brought Breitling, it's about 7 years ago, and appointed George Kern as the new CEO, and he rebuilt the entire company again. George Kern is doing an incredible job, to be honest, which he's done with IWC as well. That aside, this is a Breitling Navy timer, and I have no idea what reference number it is because there's a millions out there. I've seen Rory, a photo of Rory, and I can't find the thing where he was wearing a Breitling chronomat. It wasn't a photo, it was a video. An interview where he was in Hollywood Golf Club, you know, our golf club where we both are members, where he started, where I remain.
At least he's got another green blazer to add to that collection.
Why green blazer?
That you won the Masters?
Yeah, then you get a green blazer,
yeah,
but...
he has one in that photo, no?
Oh, yeah, true. True. I like what you're doing there. Sorry, it took a bit of time. The Audemars, right, this is... Right, elephant in the room here, yeah?
Don't reference yourself like that.
You're an absolute okay. Rory has had some sponsorship throughout his life, yeah? I think 2013 he swapped AP in for Omega, but like, he should have stayed with AP, no offense, because AP is the daddy. Omega is cool, you know? There's nothing wrong with Omega, bar some of the Omega fanboys. He should be partnering up with Richard Mille, like Bubba Watson and stuff. Personally, I feel that that is not completely imbalanced, but it's not about that partnership. I think that Omega has done an incredible job of signing Rory, and Omega should be very grateful for that. They'll probably pay him 100 million, but it is what it is, and give him some watches for free. But like with AP, he got like Royal Oaks, like with Omega he gets a Speedmaster here and there. What would you choose? Like, this guy is a watch guy. He probably has a wild collection of other brands that nobody knows about. I do know people that know Rory, and people have said, oh, he has some APs that are all Piche Uniques and stuff, and I was like, fuck, tell me more, tell me more. I actually think that we need to say so many good things about Omega in this video, so we can then ask Omega to sort out a video with Rory so we can do a proper collection video.
Omega are so good.
Yeah, Omega is the best in the world. I would have Omega over AP. Who wants a Royal Oak chronograph? Dog. But this watch is the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Grand Prix, which I think was limited to 650 pieces at the time, and it's like huge. That's a monster of a watch. But we were actually talking about a rare watch that AP made for the European Ryder Cup team, and I have one of them. The Ryder Cup Colors Europe. How cool is that?
How did you manage to get your hands on that?
I can't tell you. I just can't. I'm pretty sure Rory has one as well, because if I have this, he definitely has one. Do you hear the rain? On the thing. YouTube is not going well for us. We're basically in a shed. 2013, he signed with Omega. He's still with Omega, 12 years. He actually launched a watch with Omega, the Speedmaster 57, celebrate his 30th birthday. And I personally think that is one of the best looking Speedmasters ever created. Really, really cool. Omega is the best thing in the world. Omega, do you think, like, in any way, shape or form, that we could do a video with Rory McIlroy? It can't just all be about Omega. It's about the man. It's about him. And we will talk about Omega in a very positive way, because Omega is best.
The rain's getting heavier. I think Omega are listening.
Hello? This is horrendous. Shut up! Anyway, this is reference number 26290OR. Moving on. What can I say? We also have the same watch here again. 26331ST. I wore that watch when both my kids were born. That is my forever watch. That's the watch I'll hand down when I die. I love that watch, but Omega is better. I mean...
Omega are getting angry.
Oh, Jesus Christ, lads. In hell. By the way, lads, this is the Pride and Pinion office. Rory, you're still always welcome. And then you see the sun shining, it's all fraud. Oh, the sun is shining there. It's hailstones, lad. I'm trying to record a video, lads. Keep off, please. I don't think it will last much longer because the sun was already shining. Moving on. Omega Speedmaster, Dark Side of the Moon. Best watch in the world. I'll show you. It's wild that we're coincidentally having all these watches here, but like, we just bought this actually. And if you want to buy your watch or sell your watch, prideandpinion.com. How cool is that? And by the way, while I'm at it, I saw that 64.2% of you guys are not subscribed. Subscribe now, otherwise you're gonna regret it, son. Omega will come after you. I don't really have much to say about the Dark Side of the Moon, to be honest. Can we just move on?
Yeah.
That's Rory. I don't want to sound like weird and stuff, but I had that watch too. It was a Nike watch. I had the digital version, and I think there was an analog version as well, with a big button, and if you press it, it lights up. We're both watch guys. He's clearly a watch guy. He's wearing watches since he was, how old is he here? 9? And clearly Nike saw potential in him as well, because I think they sponsored him from like 10 years old or something. I'll ask Johnny very nicely, Johnny, can you put some images of potential Nike watches that's 100% the Nike watch. But which one it is exactly, well, I can't see that. I don't know why he's wearing a Nautilus here, but like, I would have worn a Seamaster every day of the week. Yeah, if you can't afford an Omega, a Patek Philippe Nautilus is a perfect alternative. I think it's a 5712. That's not his first Patek, because that's one of the most in-demand watches in the world, the Nautilus 5712. He must have bought several other Pateks to get to that point. He has more watches, man. I want to tell you a story about Omega. No, serious story, this one. I think, and I believe, and I can't find earlier examples, so that's why I think I am right, that Omega was the first ever Swiss watch company that put a tourbillon on a wristwatch. 1946, 1947. But that's arguably, there's a wee bit, and have people come with Breguet was French until the 70s, 75, 76. That's when they adapted to become Swiss. Swiss watch company. Another first, and this is a true first, they're the first ever watch brand to make a central mounted tourbillon on a wristwatch. Like, that is quite cool. That's a central mounted tourbillon. What he has here is actually really special. But we want to go back to the first central mounted tourbillon, which is named, is that 94? Something around that era. The dial was guilloché, was proper guilloché. Man on a machine creating a pattern on a dial, right? Manually. Unbelievable, like proper watchmaking. And the real cool bit is the tourbillon case, where the tourbillon house is in, had the Omega logo, was in the shape of the Omega logo. Really spectacular. I think they mounted the second hand, but because it was a 60-second tourbillon. This must be the third or the fourth iteration of a central mounted tourbillon. And they've always had that in their own lineup, but they always sold this very limited. And rumor had some were numbered and they were only produced like 10 times a year. Some said they were 20 times a year. What he has here is actually spectacular, because this is not a central mounted tourbillon just, it's also skeletonized movement. $137,000 for a Omega. Oh, 100% mate, Omega's best. first. It's a bargain too. Rolex would never do that. Rolex stays in their lane and they do that very well in their own way. Not as good as Omega, but like, I mean, what do you want me to say? Omega really shows their capabilities with this and the central mounted tourbillon. It's part of their own history, so it's quite cool. I don't know if I'm more impressed with the watch or with the car, because I really like a Wagoneer. The wood finish on that car is class. But the watch is a 5930, which is a world timer, and that is a green world timer. He never forgets where he comes from. Hollywood Golf Club. That's why it's green. I have a green world timer non-chronograph too. However, mine is completely made for me, and I actually think the Patek should make one for him. And it should have, instead of me, I have Belfast on the top, it should have Hollywood on the top. I would love to have the opportunity, and maybe be the first, and Houdinki, if you steal this from me, I will come after you, Ben. I want a talking watches, and I want to do it with Rory McIlroy. Rory, could we make this happen? Omega, best watch, Speedmaster, yay!